The Mongols had a swift and devastating impact on the Muslim world, devastating numerous cities and disassembling several Muslim dynasties in a relatively short period of 40 years. The Mongol incursions into Muslim territory began with the initial campaign of Genghis Khan and his sons in northeastern Iran between 1219 and 1222, when they left many thriving cities of the region to complete ruins. In 1255, a grandson of Genghis Khan, Hulagu Khan, was ordered by the new Mongol ruler to overcome all remaining Muslims between Iran and the Mediterranean, which culminated in campaigns into Syria and Iraq, and ultimately the fall of Baghdad in 1258. Hulagu was determined to keep expanding his rule, and he defeated and ruined the remaining Islamic territories, which included Egypt, Syria, and the sacred cities of Mecca and Medina and Jerusalem. These conquests caused significant devastation and had a profound impact on the Islamic world and its historical development. It was Berke Khan who was outraged and offended by Hulagu's attacks on Muslim cities, particularly the destruction of Baghdad, decided to fight back and retaliate, ordering his brilliant general Nogai Khan to lead an attack on Hulagu's empire, the Ilkhanate. According to Rashid ad-Din Hamadani, Berke Khan spoke to his Mongol and Muslim followers, expressing his opposition to Hulagu's attack on Baghdad. His words were, "He, Hulagu, plundered all Muslim cities and also brought the caliph's death. With God's help, I will hold him accountable for all the innocent blood." Nomadic warriors, sophisticated weaponry, and brutal tactics. This moderately sums up what the Mongol Empire is widely known for: their reputation as merciless fighters who ravaged Muslim lands, leveling entire cities and leaving nothing but death and destruction in their wake, perhaps makes their later conversion to Islam appear somewhat surprising. Genghis Khan, son of a Mongol chieftain, was unstoppable. He laid the foundation of the largest contiguous empire in history by defeating influential Mongol leaders and uniting the nomadic tribes of Northeast Asia. Not only did he conquer vast territory, but he also proved to be one of the greatest leaders the world has ever known. The Mongol warriors were true geniuses when it came to military strategy. This was a key factor in their success in conquering vast lands, including the Muslim empires of the day. The Mongols moved through the Muslim world, destroying numerous cities in their wake and dismantling 4 prominent Muslim dynasties in just 40 years. The Khwarizm Shahs, the Seljuks, the Ayyubids, and the Abbasids. The Mongol forays into Muslim territory began with the initial campaigns of Genghis Khan and his sons in northeastern Iran between 1219 and 1222, when they reduced many of the most prosperous cities of the region to complete ruins. While some cities such as Bukhara and Samarkand were granted terms that allowed urban life to continue, others, including Merv and Nishapur, were not so fortunate. Ibn Athir, who had visited northeastern Iran in the years before the Mongol invasion, writes, "It was a dreadful day, from the count of weeping by the men, women, and children. They were scattered to the 4 winds and completely torn apart. They divided them women among themselves too. Bukhara became a wasteland, collapsed on its roof timbers, as though it had not been thronging with people just the day before. Stories such as these spread far and wide. Tales of their ruthlessness created fear and terror, ensuring that the reputation of the Mongols preceded them. This played a part in the success of their armies, and Genghis Khan himself encouraged it. Ibn Athir records a narrative in which Genghis Khan, upon capturing Bukhara, addresses the crowd. "O people, know that you have committed great sins, and that the great ones among you have committed these sins. If you ask me what proof I have for these words, I say it is because I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you." In the audience, a man told his friend who wanted to object, "Be silent. It is the wind of God's omnipotence that blows, and we have no power to speak." The Mongols chose instead to plunder. They had little respect for places of worship, as the following narrative makes clear. The Mongols were even taking the mimbars and the Quran containers and throwing them into the moat. "Verily we belong to Allah, and to Him we return." In truth, did Allah call Himself patient and forbearing. Otherwise, the earth would have swallowed them up when they did such a thing. By the time Genghis Khan died in 1227, he had conquered northern China and Iran. In 1255, Hulagu Khan, a grandson of Genghis Khan, was charged by the new Mongol ruler to destroy all remaining Muslim powers between Iran and the Mediterranean, leading to the Mongol excursions into Syria and Iraq, and resulting in the fall of Baghdad in 1258. The destruction of Baghdad remains a pivotal moment in history, a disaster by any standards. The figure of casualties in the city, though somewhat questionable, is estimated by some sources as between 200,000 and 800,000. The figure included the Caliph Al-Musta'sim himself. Havoc was wreaked upon the city of peace, and along with it, its libraries, containing numerous priceless manuscripts, were destroyed. This is how the 14th century Persian historian Wasaf described the situation. "They swept through the city like hungry falcons attacking a flight of doves, or like raging wolves attacking sheep, with loose reins and shameless faces, slaying and spreading terror. Beds and cushions made of gold and encrusted with jewels were cut to pieces. Those hiding behind the veils of the great haram were dragged through the streets and alleys, each of them becoming a plaything, as the population died at the hands of the invaders." The Ayyubid capital of Damascus was captured shortly after Baghdad. Only in 1260 did the expansion of the Mongol Empire finally come to an end. Hulagu's army was defeated at the Battle of Ain Jalut by the Bahri Mamluks, led by Sultan Qutuz. By now, fractures had long started to appear within the Mongol Empire and had resulted in the creation of various Mongol states, khanates, with widening economic and religious differences between them. During the early years of the Mongol Empire, Buddhism held a prominent position among the Mongols. Many Mongol leaders, including Genghis Khan, were known for their tolerance of different religious beliefs and practices, and they supported the spread of Buddhism throughout their empire. However, over time, the Mongols began to change their attitude towards Buddhism as they became more involved in trades and politics. they started to adopt the religions of the regions they conquered. The spread of Islam among the Mongols was facilitated by Persian and Arab scholars and theologians who held important positions in the Mongol court. These scholars played a crucial role in introducing Islam to the Mongols and shaping their understanding of the religion. Additionally, the need for a unifying ideology in a rapidly expanding empire with diverse ethnic and religious groups was another factor that contributed to the rise of Islam among the Mongols. Islam provided a common religious and cultural identity that helped to unite different groups under the Mongol rule. The adoption of Islam by the Mongols had a significant impact on the religion itself. It resulted in the formation of new schools of Islamic thought, such as the Chagatai and the Ilkhanid schools, which blended Islamic teachings with Mongol culture and traditions. The Mongols also supported the construction of mosques, madrasas, and other Islamic institutions, which helped to spread the religion further. As fate would have it, from the ashes of the Caliphate, a new Muslim empire would eventually arise, beginning first with the Khans of the Golden Horde, and later through the conversion of the Mongols of Persia, the Ilkhans, to Islam. Berke Khan, a grandson of Chinggis Khan, from his son Juchi, is believed to be the earliest Muslim convert among the Mongols. Berke ruled over the Golden Horde for 10 years until his death in 1267. Few sources about his conversion exists, though his courtiers and those closest to him are thought to have converted alongside him and openly displayed their Muslim identity at court. Upon hearing of Hulagu's destruction of Baghdad, according to the Persian historian Rashid ad-Din Hamadani, Berke is reported to have said, "He has sacked all the cities of the Muslims, and without consulting his kinsmen has brought about the death of the Caliph. With the help of God, I will call him to account for so much innocent blood." Following the Mongol defeat at Ain Jalut, Berke struck an alliance first with Mamluk Sultan Qutuz and later Sultan Baybars. In 1262, the armies of Berke and Hulagu faced each other in battle for the first time. That ultimately led to the fragmentation of the Mongol Empire and saw the death of both military leaders in 1265 and 1266 respectively. Berke's successors, Todimung and Ozbek, after whom Uzbekistan is named, also converted to Islam, ensuring that the religion was connected with the very foundation of the Golden Horde. These public and collective conversions were not mere political opportunism, but expressed a new social identity and source of collective solidarity that went beyond the ideological framework of the Chinggisids. In the decades following Berke's initial conversion, 3 of the 4 Khanates would convert to Islam under their Muslim rulers at one point or another. A direct descendant of Hulagu, Mahmud Ghazan, reigned 1295 to 1304. Of the Ilkhans, was the first to officially declare Islam as the religion of his Khanate, compelling other notable leaders to follow his lead. Contact with the Mongol chieftains in China was by now lost. Ghazan's formal adoption of the religion took place on June 1295, guided by Sheikh Sadr ad-Din Ibrahim Hamwayi. Though some have questioned the sincerity with which some Mongol leaders and notables adopted Islam, pointing towards the economic and political benefits they ensured, Peter Jackson reminds us that it is fruitless to write off a conversion of this kind as partial or insincere, since we occupy no vantage point that enables us to judge the wholeheartedness of Mongol rulers who accepted Islam. All too often, such judgments are predicted on views of conversion revolving around a profound inward change that owe more to Western Christian expectations and experience. Whatever the case, after the fall of Baghdad, few would have predicted that in less than 100 years, all of the Mongol leaders in the western part of the empire would have accepted Islam, allowing the religion to spread still further east and changing the face of the region forever.